even the rugged demands of the early pioneers did little to change the basic concept of hub, spokes and a metal hoop around the rim. The wheel was largely taken for granted, even ignored, unless it drew attention to itself by falling down on the job. The motor car revolutionized the shape of the wheel. Metal rims of the cartwheel were replaced by solid rubber. Then came the invention of the pneumatic tire, and with it the need for a trough or well in the wheel to accommodate the inflatable inner tube. Tubeless tires were invented, but for fitting and removing them, the well in the rim has had to remain. It serves no other useful purpose. Instead, it is a potential hazard in the event of a blowout. With no air pressure to hold it against the outside of the rim, the tire can collapse into the well. From there, it can be torn off the wheel, leaving bare metal running uncontrollably on the road, and brake lines, steering and suspension dangerously fouled up with rubber. To reduce the potential dangers inherent in the conventional design, the Avon safety wheel was invented. The aim was ambitious, to minimize loss of control by creating a wheel that would keep its tire on even after a blowout. Even when running flat, a tire will give enough road holding to allow a driver to stop in comparative safety. The Avon safety wheel is designed without the usual well, so that after a blowout it's virtually impossible for a tire to come off the rim. This is the simple thinking behind the new concept. How successfully it works can be judged from this film taken on a test car with the driver deliberately trying to dislodge the tire after a blowout at speed. The tire was able to move freely from one side of the wheel to the other, but because the well is covered over, it could not come off. This is typical of the performance of tires of all makes tested on the Avon safety wheel. The safety lesson is simple. Provided the metal rim of the wheel can be prevented from digging into the road, a driver should find a blowout comparatively easy to control. But the shape of a conventional wheel leaves the blown tire free to come off. The result can be bare metal on the road, and with even one wheel in this condition, a car can become uncontrollable. No special equipment or skill is needed to fit a tire onto this wheel. The small rectangular well which replaces the larger trough of a conventional wheel is just as effective in accommodating the bead of the tire during fitting, proving again that for tubeless tires, the deep well on a conventional wheel is redundant. When the tire is on, a simple safety band is fitted to cover the narrow well in the wheel and locked into position with a self-locking screw. Safety in the jet age is a shared responsibility. Modern technology bestows many benefits which have in turn created new hazards affecting the lives of everyone. And yet, the pace of life is too fast for people to constantly search their surroundings for potential dangers. Instead, they've learned to rely on responsible behavior in others. For the same reason, on the roads, the individual puts his trust in the performance of other individuals. He also relies on the safety of their vehicles. But disaster can strike quickly and unexpectedly, as Mr. and Mrs. Clark discovered to their cost.
It had never occurred to me that that sort of thing would happen. We had obviously never driven an old banger. This was a good car. But I had never, ever thought that tyres would blow.
The car started to sway from side to side. And this became more and more violent. And until I realized we were going to go over, and there was not a thing I could do about it. And the thought ran through my mind, oh God, there's just a thin roof between us and the ground.
Perfect safety is still a dream. New safety ideas can be effective in reducing the risks. But only if the responsibility is shared by the people who make cars and the people who use them. The Avon safety wheel was invented with one purpose: to improve the primary safety of the modern car and to give the family motorist a better chance of staying on the right side of the fine line.